Let me ask you something. Your business is making good money. You're busy, you're working hard, but every year you look at the tax bill and think, how am I paying this much? I hear that all the time. And sometimes the problem isn't a missing deduction. It's the way your business is taxed. That's where an S-Corp may help. Not for everybody, but for the right business, it can save real money. So what exactly is an S-Corp? Let me make it simple. For many business owners, it's just a tax choice. It's a tax election. You may not have to close your LLC. You may not have to convert your LLC to an S-Corp. You may not have to start a new company. Your customers don't change. Your work doesn't change. You're simply asking the IRS to tax the business differently. And the biggest change is how you pay yourself. With the S-Corp, the money is usually split into two buckets. The first bucket is your salary. That's your paycheck for the work you do. The second bucket is the remaining business profit that comes to you as a distribution. Now, let me be clear. The distribution is not tax-free. You still have to pay income tax on it. But generally, you don't pay Social Security and Medicare on that distribution. And that's where the possible saving come from. Let me give you a simple example. Say your business makes $120,000 before paying your salary. So you work full-time in the business, you manage the projects, you talk to clients, you deal with the crew, you solve problem all day. So yes, the business needs to pay you a fair salary. Let's say the salary is $70,000. So that part goes through payroll. Then after payroll taxes and other expenses, the remaining profit may come to you as distribution. The rough payroll tax difference could be around $6,000. But hold on, that doesn't mean you save $6,000. Not yet. You have to subtract the extra costs. So you've got payroll to run, a separate corporate business tax return, accounting, bookkeeping, tax preparation fees. And here in California, the S-Corp pays franchise tax too. California generally charges 1.5% of the S-Corp net income. And in most cases, there is an $800 minimum tax. So you have to look at the whole picture. Maybe the S-Corp saves you $5,000. Maybe it saves you $500. Maybe it saves you nothing. So you have to do the math before you make the choice. This is where people get into trouble. Someone online says, hey, open an S-Corp and save thousands. So they do it, but the business is only making $50,000. Now, they have payroll, they have another tax return to file, more paperwork, more accounting fees and tax preparation fees. And after all that, they hardly save anything. That's not tax planning. That's just creating more work. So when does an S-Corp start making sense? I usually look at four things. Number one, how much profit is the business making? Not revenue. I'm talking about profit, the bottom line of your P&L. For many owners, it starts looking seriously at about $100,000. So that's not a magic number. Every business is different, but that's roughly when you get to low six figures, that's when you need to consider the S-Corp election. Number two, where is the profit coming from? Is it coming mainly from your work, your time, skills, your relationship? If you're creating most of your income yourself, your salary may need to be higher. So you don't pay yourself $20,000 and take another $100,000 in distribution. That pretend that you barely work there. The IRS doesn't like this. I'm not going to go to buy that. Number three, is the profit steady? Maybe you had one great year because you had a large project. That doesn't always mean that you need an S-Corp. It works better when the profit is steady and you can plan for payroll throughout the year. Check number four, are you ready to run it correctly? I mean, you need to run payroll, you need clean books, you need reconciliation, you need, another tax return, and you're ready to pay yourself a reasonable salary. It's not difficult, but it's real work that you have to factor into your decision. And here's where the salary is where a lot of business owners get too aggressive. They think, hey, the lower the salary, the more tax I save. That's not always true. And it's not the right way to look at it. Your salary should make sense based on what you do, how many hours you work, your experience, and what somebody else would earn doing the same job. So the goal is not to play games with the IRS because it can get you in a hot, messy audit. The goal is to use the rules for your benefits correctly and at the same time optimize and maximize your tax saving. There's one more thing. An S-Corp also affects your qualified business income deduction, the QBI deduction. Your salary doesn't count as QBI. So again, you cannot look only at the payroll tax saving. You have to look at everything together. Federal income tax, payroll taxes, California franchise tax, the QBI deduction, and the cost of running the S-Corp as a whole. So question is, should you become an S-Corp? Maybe. If the profit is strong, as the profit is steady, you actively work in the business, and the savings are greater than the extra cost, then yes, it could be a very smart move. But if the profit's still low, unpredictable, you probably have to wait. You don't need an S-Corp just because you have an LLC. And you don't need one because somebody in social media told you to get one. So here's what I want you to do this week. Pull your profit and loss statement. Go to the bottom section, the net profit, not the revenue, not your sales, not your bank balance. You look at the net profit at the bottom of the banks of the P&L. Then you ask yourself, if I paid myself a fair salary, would there still be enough profit to let me make the S-Corp worthwhile? That is the real question. And don't wait until the tax season to look at it. S-Corp elections have deadlines. It's better to plan early than to try to fix it later. And if you want me to look at the numbers with you, I'll let you know straight. Maybe an S-Corp will save you money, maybe it wouldn't. Either way, you will know before making the decision. I'm Sammy Basta. Thanks for watching. And if you want help deciding whether the S-Corp makes sense to you or for your business, book a free call. Happy to talk to you.
This has been another episode of our tax saving video series. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe below, and share with other business owners. You can find previous episodes and more information at www.bastacpa.com. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.